You may never have heard of this succulent before, but you'll have a lot of fun saying it. Let's talk about Trichodiadema. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan and this is Bane's Botanicals. Today we're going to be talking about Trichodiadema. Now, like I said, it is pretty fun to say. I'm doing my best with the pronunciation. I think that I sounded it out well enough. This is just an unusual little succulent that you don't hear very much, so sometimes pronunciations can be a little tricky. And I say succulent because this is not a cactus. So speaking of that, here is the taxonomy information for Trichodiadema. And as you see, we are in the family Azoaceae. Now, Azoaceae is also known as the marigold family for anybody that works outside. But as far as houseplants go, there's really only a couple of other plants that are in Azoaceae, including, I believe, lithops is in Azoaceae. So it's just kind of a unique little guy. It's similar, when it gets a little bit bigger, is that in focus? Yes. When it gets a little bit bigger, it's going to adopt the shape of kind of a shrub slash bonsai. And actually, it's going to look a little bit like that one right there. That is my Lampranthus. I can't reach it. But go back and watch my Lampranthus video. It's also kind of a unique succulent, and I believe Lampranthus might be an Azoaceae as well. So it would make sense that they would have kind of a similar growth habit. Now, this thing is pretty easy to care for. The reason that it stuck out at me is, for one thing, you can touch these, the spines, if you want to call them that, and they're not going to hurt you. I think if you like jam your finger on it hard enough, you might lose one in your finger. But I love the look of this because those spines kind of look like little stars to me. They're just these little stars sitting on top of this beautiful little green piece, and I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a starry night, right? I just think that that's really beautiful. Now, I had one before, and I wasn't as successful with it, and the reason was I just didn't water it enough. As you guys know, I have a tendency to underwater. I'm very paranoid about overwatering, but I'm breaking that habit. I'm looking at a few plants on my sink that I'm taking extra care to water often. I'm looking at a Maranta, I'm looking at a Schismatoglottis and a Heterohelix. Anyway, so as far as care goes, I'm going to set this guy right here. It is a succulent, so it does need bright indirect light, no direct sun, but it does appreciate the bright light. As far as watering goes, you need to water it less than a tropical plant, but more than a cactus. Now, if we remember, the cactus is at the bottom of the water scale, like it gets the least amount of water because they retain water so well in the desert. Succulents are the next step up, where they are not quite as hardy as cacti and they need more water, but just not as much as a tropical plant, which needs to be watered fairly regularly and frequently. You can let this dry out, but don't let it stay dry for too long. And that's where my other one failed, is that I just didn't water it enough. So this one is actually two pieces that, like, this was a plant and this was a plant, and I just bought both because I just really wanted a fuller plant. And I'm hoping that it will get nice and big and kind of, I mean, big is relative, but maybe like that. And I think it'll just look really pretty. So as far as soil goes, just a regular cacti succulent soil that has a little bit more perlite or sand for the extra drainage. I do have mine in a terracotta pot, which I recommend for succulents and cacti. I'm a hypocrite for saying this, but like, some tropicals do not need terracotta just because but as you can see, most of my tropicals are in terracotta. So I know Christian has called me out on that a couple of times, but yes, terracotta is good for these. And then humidity, it doesn't need humidity. They're fine since they are succulents. And I fertilize this one. I dilute my fertilizer a little bit more since it's a succulent and it does retain water, but I do it about the same frequency as my tropical plants. So that's going to be once every couple of weeks in the growing season, and then not at all during the dormant season, late fall, winter, early spring. So yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about Trichodiadema. When I first started sounding it out, I was like, Trichodiadema? I'm like, no, that doesn't really flow very well. So then I'm like, Trichodiadema. Trichodiadema, like diamond, right? Diadema. I don't know. Trichodiadema. I like it. I don't like it as much as Alternanthera, but I do like it. So I think that's all I have to say about these guys. Get another look at this because it is just a pretty cool succulent. It really is. And if you're doing like a succulent planter, these would be good for kind of filler in the beginning. Now, once they get bigger, you're going to have to repot them. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of like multi-plant decorating necessarily, but I know that a lot of people are into that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you saw a new plant today because I'd never heard of it before until I got it. So let me know if you guys have any other species of Trichodiadema. I say that and I don't even know the species of this one. I promise I'll put it right now. I'm going to put it and it's going to slide in. But if you have any other species, let me know. And if you have any experience with it, let me know that too. Thank you guys again so much for just everything, for the comments and the likes and the subscribes. I love our community and I can't say that enough. I'm just so grateful. So until the next video, I will see you guys very soon and thank you.